Right, so we're about to go on the D2204. I just had a lovely chicken baguette in La Boulangerie. And let's enjoy the sunshine, shall we? Sunshine weekend. Motorbike. Get through there. Yeah. Oh. Come on, push the button. Push the button. D2204. That's the ticket. Come on, you faffing faffer. Michelle Pfaffer. Right, let's do it. So recently I took part in what is called PAT, Psychedelic Assisted Therapy. And some of you have probably watched the previous tour I did a couple of years ago on the GS. And I mean, it was a great tour, but I probably wasn't in the best of headspaces. So I've struggled with my brain, let's put it that way. I've struggled with my brain for a long time. And I've got to say, this psychedelic assisted therapy, which is basically a high dose of psilocybin, the active ingredient in magic mushrooms, and it's the best thing I've ever done. So first of all, I'm going to just run you through the process of that. It's taken me a while to record this video just because I did this back in January and I wanted to sit with it for a while, make sure I'm not misadvising anyone. In fact, let's get that out of the way. I'm not advising anyone to do anything. I'm just recounting my experience, and it's not for everyone. I'll say that, it's not for everyone. But for me, it's been one of the best things I've ever done in my life. So I'll run you through the process. So it's not like you go out and score some sort of illicit substance from a guy down the pub. It's a proper therapeutic, and there's a psychological professional there to guide you through the process, look after you, make sure everything goes okay. Wow, this is some big old drops. Look at this beauty. Come on. So yeah, it's a proper medical procedure, I guess, psychological medical procedure. And you're assessed, I was assessed, over several sessions with this guy. I'll put a link to his website. It's legal before YouTube get involved. It's completely legal in the Netherlands. Look at this. Holy God. Yeah, it's not a dodgy backstreet, thing just to go and get mashed up on mushrooms. Anyway, so you go through an assessment. He then assesses if he thinks it'll work for you, because some people are probably not ready for it. I'd happened to have done quite a load of research over the last few years, and I've just known that it would have been right for me. So the books I've been reading, a lot of Eckhart Tolle, Power of Now. There's another one called The Untethered Soul, and I was in that mindset before I happened to find this guy, and it literally just as if it was fate. I was looking for a new therapist, and I was like, this guy looks good, and then happened to be talking to him in a couple of sessions, and I said, God, I'd love to try this, psilocybin, and he was like, well, actually, I do that with my colleagues in the Netherlands. I was like, amazing. So there's a lot of preparation that goes into it, and also in the research that I'd done on it, a year before, January 2024, I'd come off completely SSRIs, because there's some people say, look, you shouldn't really have that other stuff in your system. So I completely detoxed that all of last year, which was very difficult, actually. I'm not going to lie, it wasn't easy. But I was ready for it. So I was in the right mindset, and it is like, I want to find another word to use in this moving forward, but it is a somewhat spiritual type experience. This is it's like a shamanic thing that human beings have been doing for thousands of years, connecting with the greater universe. That's what it's kind of about. So if your mindset is, oh, it's all bullshit, then you might not be quite ready for it, which is why I suggest reading those two books I mentioned. this road is absolutely mental. So yeah, but I was absolutely ready. Last year was one of the hardest years of my entire life, and one day I'll talk about all of it, but for now I'll just say it was very difficult. Anyway, I was briefed about what to do, and you wear comfortable clothes and take some keepsakes so you feel comfortable and relaxed. And you basically turn up to a sort of therapist's office. There's a lazy boy there. You get bring a nice comfortable blanket, just basically like comfy things, comfort items. Like it's a full-on. It's not like you're not out in the wild looking at stuff going, oh my god, look at the colours, it's amazing. You get like a full eye mask, like blackout eye mask with some noise cancelling headphones, and a carefully curated playlist that's been designed specifically through lots of research in various universities to sort of get you there. So it's all legit, and I felt very comfortable, actually. I was scared, really scared, particularly as when I was younger I had a really bad experience with hallucinogens, so I've stayed away from them for my whole life. And the administration is liquid psilocybin. I think I did 5 grams of liquid psilocybin. It's mixed into like a little shot glass of I think it's like a citrus fruit, which helps the digestion, or helps it activate, I can't remember. And I remember holding this shot glass, just being really scared actually, and just thinking, oh god, I don't know if I can do this. But I was in such a sort of shitty space. I was like, do you know what, anything's better than this. So I just knocked it back, and that was it. You've got to be absolutely mental to cycle up here, haven't you? Absolute heroes. So that's the general sort of layout of what the beginning process. And then, so it took about half an hour for anything to start happening. And this music, this playlist that was going, it was actually quite uncomfortable. It had been designed to almost bring out your shittery, and it was almost like waiting for a beat to drop, which never actually dropped. It was like a build-up, this like really intense music, which never really came. It was a bit like being in a sort of oven of intensity, and it just kept getting more and more intense. I mean, I'm not ashamed to say, I had a proper freak out. I was just like, oh my god, like rip the eye mask off, pull the headphones off. I was like, I can't do this, I shouldn't be here, you need to call an ambulance. I'm off my face. And having a professional there to calm me down, be like, look, it's okay, you just gotta let go. You just try to let go. And I was like, I can't let go. And it was super intense, and I don't know how people do that stuff and look around at things, because in the short time that I took the eye mask off, I was seeing things that were not comfortable. So I've got a monkey bite behind me. He obviously knows where it's going. But anyway, he calmed me down, and we changed the music at that point to a much calmer, more experiential thing. And then at that point I don't know how I let go, but I almost just blacked out. And then it was just, I remember just feeling very relieved and in like a hollow black empty space. But it wasn't scary, it was like being in a womb. And I've described it to my friends as like, that was the point my old brain died. My old brain that just didn't ever shut the hell up. It reset itself. And then, so this is where it gets, like, in my mind, amazing. But in lots of you listening to this video who are just here for motorbikes, you're not going to be interested in this. But to be honest, I don't care. This is my experience, and I am so grateful for that experience. I can't tell you. Yeah, let's just get through this. Look at this, car meet. This monkey bike is still behind me. Let's just get some distance. road. Hey! Go on, baby. Look at that. Oh. Oh, look at this. This is absolutely gorgeous. Here you can go. Before we went in, he said, the therapist was like, look, if you want to say anything, just say it out loud. He writes it all down, and then we go through it all in following sessions. So I'm just there saying whatever I want to say. And the first bit I couldn't say anything because I was just absolutely, I've never been more off planet. Yeah, and the whole experience lasts about 3 hours, probably. And it is honest, it was the most beautiful thing that's ever happened to me. Like, the most profound thing. I mean, on par with like the birth of children and shit. Like, that's how amazing it was for me, anyway. Yeah, so it lasts about 3 hours. You say whatever you want to say. I remember almost all of it. It's not like when you're drunk and you can't remember like what you did and being a dick. It was, I remember almost all of it, apart from the very, very first bit when my brain died. And so you have all these experiences, which I will elaborate on shortly. And then you just kind of know when it's done. And after a few hours, it was like, yeah, I think I've got all the downloads that are going to happen, and I'm ready. And then you just calmly go, yeah, that's it. And then you're a bit wobbly for an hour or so, but then after that, there was no hangover. There's no sick. I wasn't sick or anything. And I was in perfectly, not even perfectly, I was in a state of absolute joy and calm. And I finally found my calm. I finally found my peace. I think everyone's different. Everyone's brain's different. Everyone has different problems. Everyone's going to experience things in different ways. So I don't want to say, look guys, you've got to go and do this. Do your research. And it's taken a while, and I feel responsible. I don't want to go out and say, oh my God, yeah, this is going to change your life, and people do it and have bad experiences. I mean, as far as I'm aware, as far as I know, nobody's ever died of taking psilocybin. So it's a natural thing that grows, and it's been growing for millennia. And since the experience, I've just been so much more relaxed. It's like I saw behind the veil of this world, and it's actually almost laughable, like what this world is. These are the messages that I was given and the things that I was shown. And it's not like there's someone there going, hello Chris, thanks for coming. It's not language. Things aren't spoken in language. They're spoken in feelings, and they're spoken in emotion. It's not language is so archaic. You can't describe. Oh, and the love, by the way, so that when you're under, like this feeling of absolute joy and love, it is indescribable. Language is so blunt. Even the most descriptive, beautiful languages in the world wouldn't even come close to explaining how this feels, how this love enters your body. And it's like love, relief. It was like I was being welcomed home, and it was just so incredible. Incroyable. And then it was after that, for the next 2 weeks, I felt like I could feel this energy in my hands and all over my body. I was so much more in tune with things, and I didn't really care about anything, because all this material stuff that we deal with on a day-to-day basis is so irrelevant. And like, oh God, I shouldn't have texted that person the other day, or oh, what have I done? It's so irrelevant. It's like a grain of sand in the Sahara Desert. It doesn't matter, you know. And it was actually a relief to feel like that, and I'm sure some of you will feel the same. It was a relief that it's not all down to you. Look, you know, the sun is still going to rise tomorrow. We're still all spinning around on a planet that's spinning around a sun, that's in a solar system, that's in a galaxy, that's in a universe. Like, your life, in the nicest possible way, doesn't really matter. And the only goal, I believe now, of life is to try to make yourself a better human being. And I describe it as like a video game, and you go up levels and you deal with hard shit, and the lessons that you keep getting served in life, I know I keep getting the same bloody lessons, and until you learn them, you're just not going to move on. These things will keep coming up in various forms, and it's like a training ground, a learning ground. This whole planet, this whole thing, it is like a matrix. I think now, it is like a matrixy type system. And I know this sounds all fucking weird, but I have faith. That's the difference. It's like you suddenly realise that you're not the one in control of a car that's crashing, and it's not your fault. It's okay. Shall I go through what happened to me? Fuck it, let's do it. So, let's rewind a little bit and go into after my brain died. So, the love then, this feeling of security and safety starts to come to you. And, I mean, throughout this whole process, I was either laughing or crying or somewhere in the middle. After the death bit, it was like all the colours and stuff. I felt like I was inside like a plant, like a living organism with all this like chloroplasts, and all this on a cellular level. But your eyes are shut, by the way. This is all, you're all in you've got an eye mask on, so all this is just going on in my mind. It was almost like a village, like a strange tribal village inside a plant. And I don't think this is particularly relevant to my experience. I'm just giving you what I saw. And all of the colours were like it would be like gradients of greens, yellows, pinks, blue, but they were animated gradients. But I was totally calm at this point, and I'm just enjoying the show. And there was almost like little entities that were taking care of this plant, this garden, whatever the shit I was in. And that goes on for a while, and I think that is, to me, that is like the bridge between the material world, which is what you and I often live it. We live in it. Everyone lives in it, right? The material world, where motorbikes, taxis, jobs, girlfriends, and all that stuff exist. Fast cars and ego exists. That phase of all the high intensity trippy is like the bridge between that world and then the much more important, beautiful and relevant world. And I don't even know what to call that world. I guess it's just another dimension, I guess. So then I sort of travelled through this metaphorical bridge. I'll stand up too, buddy. Yeah, let's do it. I found myself, it was like I was lost at sea, like this big, calm, empty, misty, foggy sea, and I didn't know where I was, and I'd been there very specifically for 17 years. I'll tell you that, and I'll say why that's significant in a minute. I was sort of washed up on this shore, and a Native American woman, hey, whoa, fuck you, gee, almost ran me over with a Renault caddy van. No, this Native American woman, I don't really remember what her face looked like. She found me on this beach. It was like landing in this world, and that was the point where this love started to be overwhelming. And it was like being found, it was like being rescued, it was like being, you know, a kid when you get lost and you're all scared and the world is so big and you don't know what's going to happen, and then your mum comes and finds you, and this relief, everything's going to be okay. You've done it. Or someone that's been on a big expedition and they've successfully conquered something and they've come back and it's like, you've done it, well done, you've done it. I felt this overwhelming sense of relief and being found. And then I was taken up away from the beach into this sort of clear, like it was almost like a Native American deserty type place with this big rock, which looked a bit like a tree. It had sort of a narrower trunk section and then a big bit at the top. I actually drew a picture of it afterwards, and there it was like being reunited with my family. It was like being welcomed home, like welcome back. You've managed to get connected again. You've come back. So there was like a father type figure there, and I was taken up to the brow of this rock, and it was like I was imbued with this energy source between my hands. I remember this like incredibly intense lightning between my hands, like just out in front of me like this, and I was, inverted commas, told that it's like a healing energy, that I mean, it sounds so fucking weird, I don't even know if I could put this up, but I was told I was a healer, or I can help people, and I know that sounds so, I don't know, weird, but anyway, this was my experience. And then I came back down to the clearing, and it was like, yeah, the stars. I mean, I describe it as being off planet, because it wasn't like it was in, you know, South America. It's kind of felt like that with the geology, but it was, it couldn't have been, because the star system and the sky was so alive with star, like, you know, you look up in a beautiful bright sky at night, you can see, you know, loads of stars, but this was on another level, just so incredible. Yeah, and then all of these messages, I've got them written down actually. I might even notarize them and sort of, I don't know, make a follow-up video to this, I guess, explaining what they are. So yeah, loads of information like that. And then I was in like an Egyptian city, but again that was in a different planet, because everything was dark blue, like navy blue and gold, and yeah, and there was a bit of personal information which I'm not going to talk about, someone who I know there, who was there, and it just went on for hours of this amazing conversation of no words. It's like words weren't involved at all. It was like directly communicated straight into your heart, mind. Words were useless. Yeah, I feel, yeah, I was inverted commas told that this world is just like a learning ground, and it doesn't really matter. You're training. You're just trying to be a better person. What else would be relevant to tell you? Okay, in fact, I will tell you this. Merci, monsieur. So that this woman that rescued me from the beach, I've seen her before 17 years ago, and I've got a feeling she was either a sister, or we were like a partner in a previous life, but someone very, very close to me. And yeah, 17 years ago, this same woman came to me in a dream when I was in my old flat in Weybridge, and it was the most intense dream. And she was sat on the edge of my bed. I didn't see her face, just this long straight black hair, and this same feeling of overwhelming love, exactly the same as how I felt on the psilocybin, like the most love you've ever felt in the world. It was just incredible. And it was almost like now in hindsight, I see it as almost like it was like a little, like a goodbye. It was almost like, look, I've got to leave you now for a bit. And it was almost like, you need to go and experience some shit, frankly, in your life, and find your way back. And that, even now, talking about it, I'm so much more susceptible to energy levels. And I know this sounds like I'm some sort of weird superhuman, but those shivers you get down your spine, listen to those. They are meaningful. It's not just like a body, a material body reaction. I don't think. I think they're little signals of, oh, you should take notes. You take notice of this, whatever you're talking about or doing. Yeah, so it was like this little farewell of, you need to go and experience life and find your way home. And when she came to me on the beach, that's what it was like. It was like, well done, you've done it. You've done that section of your life. You've completed it, mate. You've gone through it. And it was really fucking hard. And I know my life doesn't look hard, but you can never tell what's going on in someone's mind. Like, you could be a billionaire and have some very difficult problems to solve. And I'm not saying I'm a billionaire, but you know, I know people look at this. I mean, look at this. I'm out on my bike, cruising around Europe and living my best life, right? But don't take for granted all of your, you know, your beautiful, your lovely girlfriends and wives and family at home that you're with right now. I don't really have that. And funny enough, that is the one thing I want more than anything in life. So just because I'm out here riding my bike, and I'm having a great time, don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean that everything's all hunky-dory. And that's the same for anyone else you look at in your life. So, I might make a little website or something, because all of the information that I got. By the way, I'm not telling you, this is a good point, I'm not saying to you, hey guys, I figured out how the universe works. I'm not saying that. This video is for a couple of reasons. Number one, to give those people who are at the end of their tether, the I cannot go on with this life anymore, which, to be fair, I was pretty, if I'm honest, I was pretty close to, because I was just like, I can't do this anymore. I just don't want to do this. I don't understand what's going on. So I want to give those people that are watching this video, and I know there's quite a few of you out there because you messaged me, I want to give you a bit of hope that there is something that might help you. It might not be this, it might be something else, but I was at the end and now I'm not. Now I've never felt better. Well, I certainly can't remember feeling better. My physical body's got better. I'm losing weight for no reason. My body's just responding and happier. All my friends and family are like, shit man, you are glowing with life. And it's given me a whole new perspective. But it doesn't feel it doesn't feel like, here's the answer, you've solved it. It now feels like this is the journey, this is the start of another chapter in my life, another big journey. And it's actually the most important thing to me at this point in my life. I mean, I love motorbikes and travelling around the world doing launches, but I remember driving yesterday in the XT-Oval in the rain thinking, what am I doing? I want to be having conversations about this. And that's the other point. The other reason I'm making this video is because I want to have a conversation about it. I want to open it up. That's what YouTube content, I believe, should be like, and that's what I used to do years ago, is let's have a conversation and let's have a debate. Do you believe in this stuff? How do you feel? Like, be honest. Do you think there's something else in life? You know, have you ever gone, whoa, that's way too much of a coincidence? But I think when those things happen in your life, you have to take notice of it and go, shit, you know, this has happened for a reason. And sadly, at the end of, just before I did this thing, I had a really difficult, very, very sad end to a relationship of a girl I really loved. It ended in such an unbelievable way that it almost had to be an intervention, because I think if I stayed with her at that point, I wouldn't have had the courage to neck that shot of high dosage psilocybin, and I would have just gone, oh no, everything's okay now, and I would have blanketed over the problem. So I'm grateful for it in a funny way. Even though I'm still sad, I'm grateful for it. And that gratitude, like, I used to, fuck it, we're all friends here, I used to cry quite a lot. I used to get upset quite a lot, like this overwhelming emotion, or sometimes not be able to cry and it would be even worse actually. But now I cry often on my walks in the morning out of absolute gratitude, and I say thank you for saving my life. And anything that's that strong, like, that can affect, anything that ever has that much of a dramatic change in someone's life, can't be bullshit. It just can't be. And that was back in January that I did it. And where are we now? May. And it's still going strong. It's less strong. It's weakened a bit, I will say that. But I'm still not at the point where I feel like I need to go out and do it again. I think I will probably do some more. But at the moment, I'm just living with it, and it's like, here's the Kickstarter, here's the derailment. My life was not on the right path, or my brain certainly wasn't on the right path. And it's given me that new lease, and I'm so thankful for it. So yeah, now, and this is another reason for this trip, is I'm evaluating everything in my life. So if things in my life, including jobs, houses, motorbikes, cars, whatever it is, if they're not serving me, then I'm not interested in them. So yeah, I'm out here on this trip, and I'm doing a lot of thinking, because I think there's a lot of changes going to come, and I don't know what those changes are, but I have faith that they are the right ones. Here's what I'm going to end this video on. I don't think my way through life anymore. I feel my way through life, and I have faith that those feelings are an accurate guide helping me. And those feelings, you know it. You know when you're doing something which is uncomfortable, and you think, why am I doing this? Like, oh, you know when you get a job offer, or you're still stuck in the same job, that you don't want to be in it. You know it in your gut. It's not just a logical, oh well, I need the money, which of course we all do. But all of these things, you know deep down, don't you, that something's not right. Those are the things now that I have absolute confidence in, when I go, do you know what, this isn't right. And your logical brain can go, oh yeah, but you don't want to be alone, or you don't want to be out of work. I don't care now. I don't care. I don't know what the future's going to bring, but I'm alright with it. If it means living in a shack in the woods for the rest of my life on my own, so be it. I'm alright with it. I don't think it will be that, and my ego hopes it won't, but yeah. Don't think your way through life, feel your way through life. Alright guys, be kind in the comments. See you later, bye.